Hi, this is Patty Davis with Crooked Tree Creations, and today I am showing you how I made this fall sunflower grapevine using greenery and flowers left over from last year or even years before. And I am showing you throughout this video little tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the years, but stick around until the end because my very last tip and trick that I have for you, I think, is the most important one. Hi everybody, this is Patty Davis with Crooked Tree Creations. I wanted to make a fall wreath. I was on Pinterest today and saw some sunflower wreaths. I'm like, I love sunflowers. They're just so cheerful and everything. So I got these sunflowers that I had left over from last year, and I just really like them. I look at that little reddish orangish tint that's in there. I think it's really pretty. So I'm like thinking, okay, what can I put with these? I'm going to put these red maple leaves in there. I got some fern. I want to, I got to do some green. I got my green ficus in there. I got some ferns. And then I got this other stuff that has like that orange tint to it to make it really fall. Then I also have this blue. I think this blue along with that and the red, I think it's really gonna pop. I'm hoping anyway. And then I have, we all like our black and white buffalo plaid. So I got the black and white buffalo plaid. I'm gonna try to do a wreath with that, or make a nice bow with that. And I think that's what I'm gonna do first. So I'm just gonna get this started. So if you are watching and you do not know how to make a bow, this is what I do. I just twist, loop, try to make sure that they're about the same length, twist, loop, okay, and try to make sure that each side is about the same length too, okay. And I'll make about I figure I'm going to do seven loops all together. And then do what I didn't do, which I always forget because, well, I have a scattered brain. Got the wire and just tie it as tight as I can possibly can. And it's usually best, instead of twisting the wire, hold on to the wire and twist the ribbon itself. That way you are twisting it into the ribbon instead of away from the ribbon, and it makes it tighter. Okay, so yeah, just got this little bow here. Well, this is actually a pretty big bow. But I'm going to stick it through here. I try to stick it through the grapevine instead of around the grapevine, because if I can get it to go through, then nobody can see the wire. Having people see the wire, just not cool, right? So, but there are times that I've made stuff where the grapevine's just too tight and you kind of can't get that wire straight, like right through there. Then yeah, I'll go around, but usually. So anyhow, I think what I am going to start with, I'm going to put some of this ficus in there. Again, I just want to have some of that green in there just to counterbalance all the red and the gold that's going to be going through there. So yeah, I like to use tube glue most of the time. If I'm in a hurry, or something, if I want the glue to stick right away, then that's when I use the hot glue. But I'm just going to use little bunches of this ficus. I really don't want to have too much, but I do want to have some, again, just to counterbalance that red and yellow. But I just really think that the green's going to help it pop a little bit and kind of balance it out. I don't want to put too much green in here just yet. Okay, so I actually think I'm going to go ahead and start with these sunflowers and see where I want to go after I put the sunflowers in there, because these are going to be my main focus. So, and I'm just kind of bending it right about there. I want them to stick out a little bit from the grapevine, but not too far. So I think that'll be a good length there. Yeah, sometimes I like to do the bow first. Sometimes not. But this is a pretty big bow, and I kind of figure it's gonna be kind of also a focal feature along with all these sunflowers. If you're finding a grapevine that doesn't stick very well, that it's a little too loose in there, get some zip ties, zip tie it on, zip tie the floral on there. It will help a lot. I've actually only done that a couple times. It's very rare that I do that, but every once in a while I find the grapevine just will not work very well with me. So that's whenever I'll do that. So I think with these smaller sunflowers, I'm just going to kind of have them stick out just a little bit further. Kind of have them come out from the, you know how whenever you see regular flowers, the older flowers that are a little bit bigger, then there'll be a stem, and then there's the smaller flowers that haven't started yet. That's kind of where I want to go with this. I want the smaller flowers to come out from the grapevine a little bit further. I try to get things to look a little bit more like nature. You can see from the side here, I want my sides of the wreaths to look good too. So that's kind of, I want to make sure I have stuff on that side for, if, hey, you never know if somebody's going to be looking at these wreaths from the side or not. So I want them looking good from all sides. So those are all of the sunflowers I'm going to be using. Now I'm going to try to get some of these leaves in here. And that's the thing too with a lot of this stuff. you don't have to use the entire stem all at once. I'll cut these down. I'll use this stem and then this. I know this really doesn't look like a whole heck of a lot, but it will fill in at least closer to the grapevine, so you really can't see. You know, I don't know. It's just me. I like my wreaths to be full, so that you really can't see the grapevine through them. So I just kind of stick these leaves through there, so to help kind of hide the grapevine. Then something like this that sticks out a little bit further. Okay, just me. Okay, I'm going to start putting some of these in here. Kind of a little bit more of a filler type kind of flower. See where I want to go with that. And you can see with these, there's some of these here, and they can slide up and down. So you can kind of play with these sometimes a little bit. Sometimes what I'll do is kind of take this all the way down and make it two separate pieces, depending on how thick the grapevine is and things like that. So, but I think I'm going to keep this all together and see how that plays out. Okay. But I do have a couple of these that I want to stick in. I just want to use this up, you know. Actually, I just have this one stem with 3 of these ferns on here. So I'm going to take these ferns off of that stem and just use this and stick it in there. Like I said, we just have these 3 little ferns on this, and so I kind of want to get that used up. I've had this, haven't found anything to even remotely close to this anywhere, so I want to get it used up. And I figured this wreath would be the perfect wreath for that. To go with more red leaves, but these are just a little bit smaller. That's one thing I really liked about this grapevine itself, just the way this kind of came across right there. I don't know why I thought that was really pretty. I wanted to make sure that that is still seen, so I don't want to go too far right in here. So my brain works in weird ways. Oh, and by the way, is anybody having a glass of wine with me? Even though it's not Wine Wednesday, I still got to have a glass of wine. Can't craft without wine. Well, I guess you can, but it's just not quite as enjoyable, right? So there's that. I think I am going to maybe stick a little bit more green in here. I have these that I think I'm going to stick in there. This looks like I may have gotten this from Joann Fabrics a couple years ago. According to the tag, it looks like a Joann Fabrics tag. So now I think I'm going to move on to these blue wispies. I do really want to use these. I wish I had cut them ahead of time because that stem on these is a little bit thicker. So it's kind of got to use both hands to cut. But what I am doing, like, see, I mean, these stems are really long, so I'm just kind of going just above, like this one here, and then I'll cut. And then I might leave this one all together. That might be a little too long though. Okay. Cut that one off and just turn that into two. So I will cut my stems down an awful lot. Very rarely will I keep one of, a long stem together unless I want to drape it down towards the bottom. If I want it to really droop, that's whenever I keep them a little longer, which I do like those droopy kind of, that droopy look. I'm going to show you up close so you can see it up closer. See that blue up against that yellow? I really like that. And I'm going to fix that bow. I know that bow kind of got all messed up as I was doing this, but we'll fix it up a little bit. I'm going to take a look at this. Tell me what you think. If there's probably going to be a couple spots that I need some more stuff. But we look good from this side. We look good from this side. I think I'm going to be done. I may want to put something more here, kind of to make it a little bit more droopy, whatever, down towards the bottom. But for the most part, I think I'm pretty much done. So whenever I stopped my video, I decided that I needed to stop, take a break, take a picture, and see what I liked, what I didn't like about the wreath. See if I needed to add anything, take anything out, stuff like that. So, 2 things I didn't like about this wreath. First of all, I thought the bow stood out entirely too much. So, what I could have done was taken that bow completely out and replaced it with maybe some burlap, or maybe a blue ribbon to play up with the blue. There's different things that I could have done, but what I decided to do was take some of that same ribbon and I added a small bow up at the top and another small bow at the bottom. So I kind of think that brings that black and white, moves the eye around the wreath. So I think that looks a little bit better. And then I didn't have enough fullness over here. So I added some more, I added some fern and some greenery over here, filled it up a little bit, and I think it looks a heck of a lot better. So that is just something I do 99% of the time. I will stop, take a picture, then see what I like, what I don't like, see what I need to add, things like that. I do that also with wreaths that I do put on my website and my Etsy page, that if they don't sell, there might be a reason. Is it because it doesn't look right? Does it need more? Does it, is it the wrong color? Things like that. So I will go through them and see what I need to add, take out, whatever. So that's just something that you might want to do from time to time. But every time I make my grapevine wreaths, I will stop, take pictures, and then proceed from there. When you see your wreath in a picture, it's a completely different perspective than when you're staring at it head on. So it's a very good practice to get into, and eventually when you like it in a picture, that's whenever it's a good wreath. That's when you stop. So thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Patty Davis, and I'm with Crooked Tree Creations, rustic wreaths with an elegant twist. And I will see you in our next video. Thank you.